Hello and welcome to another episode of Video Game Easter Eggs, the series where we take a look at some of the latest and not so latest Easter eggs in video games. If you enjoy these videos, then a like is really appreciated, and without further delay, let's get started. Right, let's begin today's video with Guns, Gore Canoli 2. Now, we have covered this gory side-scrolling shooter in this series before, where we found a dead Big Chungus. Well, today's GGC2 Easter egg is an Easter egg that isn't meant to be found. During the game's third level, if you manage to climb on top of the hotel roof, you can find this. So, I feel like I'm kind of doing the exact opposite of what was asked. I mean, the game offers you a rocket launcher if you don't tell anyone about the missing art, and here I am telling you about the missing art. But you have to admit, it's a pretty clever Easter egg. Now, we've covered loads of the Talos Principle 2 Easter eggs on this channel before, but with the release of a new DLC, there's a whole bunch more to discover. And in my humble opinion, the Easter eggs in the Road to Elysium DLC are even better than those found in the main game. First up, on the Isle of the Blessed, you can find this. So, a map with three symbols, one being a key, one being a cave, and one being a crab. Okay, it's not much to go on, but let's see what we can find. Well, at the location marked with a key, we can find a key. And at the part of the map marked with a cave, we can find a cave that is home to a chest with a cassette tape inside it. And if you take this tape to this location, one of the best Easter eggs of 2024 so far can be found. So dancing crabs were already cool enough, but halfway through their performance, the crabs will don sunglasses for extra swag points. Oh, and it probably goes without saying, but this Easter egg is a reference to the famous Crab Rave song from 2018. Right, it's now time for our overused video game Easter egg of the week. The segment where we take a look at one Easter egg that has been referenced to death in video games. Today's Easter egg actually comes from the Talos Principle 2, which after giving us a brilliant Easter egg, then gives us the familiar sight of Wilson, which is the volleyball seen in the Tom Hanks movie Castaway. Oh, and I have been meaning to ask, for the overused Easter egg segment, do you think it should be every reference to a particular movie or game that features here, or just the ones that we've seen a bunch before? So, for example, if we found a reference to Breaking Bad that wasn't a pizza on a roof or a shot-up RV, would you consider that overused because Breaking Bad in general is referenced all the time? Let me know in the comments, and be sure to join me next time for another overused video game Easter egg of the week. Up next is the Eggcellent Selaco. Now, thanks to a demo, we actually covered Selaco before it was even released, all the way back in 2022. But now that the game has released in early access, we can find some very on-the-nose references. Now, a couple of these references are pieces of graffiti, which granted isn't the most exciting way to reference something, but the first one is this, which is a cacodemon from the Doom series. Next up, and this one may be a little debatable, but I think that this is a reference to the creepiest girl in all of video games, that being Alma from the Fear series. Moving away from game references now with this piece of wall art, which is a reference to James Rolfe, better known as the YouTuber Angry Video Game Nerd. And this is a nod to G-Man Lives, another popular YouTuber. Next up is this whiteboard, which claims it's never lupus, which is a reference to the TV show House.
Our patient, congratulations. Soon his chats with God will be a thing of the past. You stash your drugs in a lupus textbook. It's never lupus.
And the final Selaco Easter egg is by far my favourite. Early on in the game, you can find this. So this secret room is completely covered in white paint. Or at least I hope it's paint. You see, you can find tins of white paint in the room, but it seems that whoever was in this room was playing a game called Waifu Doom, and the chances are that this game excited whoever was playing it. A lot, if you get what I mean. Now this room is almost certainly a reference to this scene from South Park where, well, just watch for yourself.
What the? There was a ghost!
Of course, this isn't the only time that scene has been referenced in video games, with Borderlands 3 also hiding a very sticky room for players to find. Next up is Fallen Aces. Fallen Aces is a first-person brawler/shooter that released in early access a couple of weeks ago. As you can tell from the gameplay you're seeing, Fallen Aces is super stylish, looking like a 90s comic book brought to life. And it's also brilliant. Combining elements of the immersive sim genre, which I love, with meaty first-person melee combat, the game just feels amazing to play, and exploring the world to find secrets and shortcuts never gets old. Now, you might be surprised to learn that Fallen Aces is made by the same people who made the Eggcellent Ultra Kill, though there is a not-so-subtle reference to the fast-paced shooter that can be found in various bathrooms.
Think I'm messing around?
So in Fallen Aces, the humble bar of soap is a one-hit kill machine, which is exactly like the hidden bar of soap found in Ultra Kill. Now, something that almost all immersive sims have in common is the inclusion of the famous 0451 code, or at least a variation of it. And Fallen Aces is no different. If you look out of your apartment window at the beginning of the game, you can see the numbers 415, which just happen to be the numbers you need to unlock your safe. I mean, it's not exactly 451, but it's close enough. Now, the final Easter egg from Fallen Aces is very strange. At the start of the Moth and Flame level, you can find this. So hidden behind a locked door is a crime scene, with an ominous message warning us that eyes are watching. When I first saw this room, I immediately thought of the excellent 1995 thriller Seven, which follows two detectives on the hunt for a serial killer. Now, I could be reading too much into this, but to me at least, this room hints that a serial killer could be at large in Fallen Aces. Right, let's end today's video with Mortal Kombat 1. So after 9 months of waiting, Homelander is finally playable in MK1. And he's as deranged as he is in the show that he's from, which is brilliant. One of the brutalities that Homelander can perform is the What Happens If, which sees Homelander doing this.
Oh no, are you okay?
Brutality.
So yeah, not pleasant. Well, what's really cool is, if you perform this brutality on the blind Kenshi, Homelander will say this.
Another useless fucking blind guy.
Brutality.
So Homelander saying another useless fucking blind guy is a reference to this scene from The Boys.
I do this. And now you're just another useless fucking blind guy.
So that's it. If you enjoyed this video, then leaving a like is really appreciated. If you are a fan of Easter eggs and secrets in games, then perhaps consider subscribing, and if you want more videos just like this one, then perhaps click one of the videos on screen, as YouTube seems to think that you'll like those too. As always, a big thank you for watching, and I'll speak to you all soon.